Good evening, YouTube. What the Nurgle's pestilent crap is going on? HeirofCarthage back? It has been too long. Do you guys know how hard it is to step away from this campaign for a few days? I was dying to play it. Anyway, I was out with Mrs. Air, having a great time, so thank you for your patience. Thank you for all the comments, and based on the views and comments and everything that just continue to flood in, and many of you are saying you think this is the best campaign on YouTube. That's extremely flattering, and I appreciate it, and I will strive to make it that as we continue. I'm excited to pick back up where we left off. We got lots of good suggestions. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with Sigvald's army. Some people have suggested we do a Marauder army. Some people say that Sigvald wouldn't allow, because of like the way the lore goes, he wouldn't allow gross units around him like the Chaos Spawn. So what about this? Let me throw this idea out there. What if we give Sigvald kind of a, a beautiful army with Chaos Warriors, Mirror Guard, all that kind of stuff, right? And some Hell Cannon batteries, because that'll make him a little different. But then what if we have maybe like a generic Lord that follows nearby him with the ugly units, and that's where he keeps all of the ugly things. He needs them for battle, but he won't let them anywhere near him. I don't know. What do you all think? Give me some thoughts. Give me some thoughts. Anyway, we know what Kolek's army is going to be. That's pretty straightforward. It's going to be literally all Dragon Ogres and Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, and for anybody who thinks I'm kidding, I'm not. Eventually we may create like an army of Marauders or something like that to support Kolek, but for now I'm going to have Kolek follow Archaon as Archaon ravages the Empire first, and then we will indeed send Sigvald to attack the elves, and if possible, obtain the Sword of Cain. It kind of gets taken up and placed in different places. It has to be in the hands of a character that we fight in order to obtain it. So, Bear Sonling, a character that we so aptly named, has leveled up. Let's take care of this for him. I'm going to kind of first start him off as a campaign map character, since he can potentially be useful for that. During the turn end, the von Karsteins, led by Vlad and Isabella, have declared war on Middenland, Bretonnia, and the Empire. So their war against the living is underway. They will all fall beneath the boot of Archaon. Here's Alexis Leitdorf, who is attempting to come interfere. No matter. It's time for Archaon to push on. Let's push on until we have at least 5% left. And let's go into an encampment. I think we had our campaign movement range lowered by an agent there based on the extremely short distance that we were able to move. I will see you on the other end of this turn, and we will attack Sausenmund. The pathetic Ulrich Strahem tried to assault units, but he was obviously too weak to lay a finger on the warriors of Chaos. And he was clearly all that stood between me and his pathetic settlement. Let's make sure and go over here and help the citizens understand just how pathetic he was as they get completely How come we can't fight this? Seriously? We don't have a siege attacker? Pretty sure Archaon's a siege attacker. Anyway, I know how to fix this real quick. Here, hold on.
Herald of the Tempest, hail the slaughterer.
Break siege.
You dare?
There we go. Archaon may be too much of a putz to break down a gate, but Kolek is clearly scared of no gate. I'm gonna put that ward save on him while we're at it. Oh my yes. Gonna loot some favor out of that. Corn be praised. Done great things. Alright. There's Alexis. Middenheim is in our sights. Let's go into an encampment with Archaon. Still don't have enough population surplus to build anything new, and Kolek can't build anything on this turn. Let's look at his skill point. I was working on Tribes of Chaos. because it makes the most sense to get that growth early on a lord, because it will pan out to be much more over the course of the campaign. Archaon has leveled up as well. I did turn on a 60-point mod for skills so that we would be able to fully fill out Archaon's skill tree and not have to worry about skipping anything or making those decisions. Really wanted it to be something very special for Archaon. So I've given him everything that he needs for now for his infantry and cavalry, and then same thing over here, so I don't believe there's any need to place additional points in that at the moment. If we look up at the top, we can give him missile resistance. A large vigor reduction loss would probably be very beneficial, especially with all the cavalry on the battlefield. The longer that the vigor upholds, the more deadly it is. Oh, Middenheim. Middenheim. Alexis is rushing there to keep it from being savagely defeated with just its garrison. And Kolek is within striking distance. And if we have the battle here on open ground, we can fully utilize his mobility. But we will have to deal with a significant garrison from Middenheim. But we like large battles, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, come on, Alexis. Alexis. Coward. He was a coward in his heart. He knew it. Wouldn't fight. Wouldn't fight for his people. Wouldn't fight for his country. Pathetic. Look at the cowardice of the followers of Ulrich. Look at this. They run in front of our armies. They have an opportunity with their garrison to combine into a great force to try and save the land of Middenheim, and they flee, running for their pathetic lives towards the safety, or supposed safety, of Karl Franz and his empire. This is truly pathetic, and Middenheim will pay the price for their pathetic nature. I'm gonna get some siege towers ready because there's a significant enough garrison. Once the towers are ready, the attack commences. Oh man, check out this custom map mod. Man, those are some trees back there. Seriously, that is some trees. Welcome to the custom map Middenheim, where I am sieging the inhabitants. And check out this big gun they got here. I guess, is this something that came from lore? Is anybody familiar with this? Just look at this crap that they built. It's incredible. Look at them defending it. That is a gigantic... Yeah, look, it even fires. Check it out. Looks like they modeled like a... They put like a Queen Bass type of round coming out of it. So it shoots as my tower's approaching. I mean, the work done on some of these mods is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, I've got my siege towers approaching. It's loaded with the Reavers of the Night Faith and my other chosen with great weapons. And let's take a look at the defenders for Middenheim. They've got their gunners nearby. A common problem with some of these maps is a little bit of terrain leveling issue there as these guys are walking through the wood. There's going to be great swords and Empire Knights, and then at the main gate there are more defenders. They have their gunners ready to defend from the walls, and then great swords behind the lines along with their captain of the Empire. They've also got mortars firing from in a different plaza over in this direction. Not too worried about that in terms of will it cause damage to my towers. I think this tower is going to be the first one to arrive. There's no one there to oppose it, just handgunners nearby that I'll go attack. And then on this side, my tower is approaching too. So my objective here is to use Kolek and his ogres to break the gates and then rush everything through while I have overwhelming force on the towers also. See my siege towers reach the wall here. And my warriors have set foot in Middenheim. I take a gruesome shot from that cannon right off the bat. So let's go over here, check out the fight on the walls. My Chaos Warriors pouring onto the walls. The halberd is actually running away, leaving the gunners to their fate. And as sometimes happens, there's a bit of a glitch here where I'm attacking the gates. The enemy opens them and my units kind of start to get attacked. It's not great for me because I can't really attack the gates. I should probably have just pulled my units back, but instead, Appius, the Chaos Roman, delivers a pit of shades for the men of Middenheim. We're taking damage from the mortars over here. I'm going to get attack orders in on these gunners and start to slaughter them while my Dragon Ogre Shaggoths begin breaking through the gates. Like I said, I'm having a hard time breaking the gates, but their handgunners are going to take it. Over here, I hadn't even realized that this big gun actually fires, but then I noticed it shortly after this, and I'm going to kind of split up my groups a little. The Reavers of the Night Faith are easily going to hold their own here, even against all these Empire Knights and Great Swords. It's right here where I noticed what was happening. Just look at the hit from that gun. Not really a feasible angle, but it's still pretty cool that we got to see it happen. Anyway, my Dawi Cleavers took a nasty hit there, so they're going to go fight elsewhere where they're not going to be shot by a gigantic cannon. I was struggling to get any more of my Dragon Ogres through the gates to support this fight, and one of my Dragon Ogre Shaggoths began taking a lot of damage. So I decided to go ahead and pull him through and get over here to these guns, so he'll just stop being singled out by all these spears and halberds. The enemy mortars continue their fire, and they will cause some damage. Nothing that we can't shake off. Let's go over here and let you see Kolek and his minions, befuddled by the fact that the enemy opened the gates. Not the smartest enemy here. The AI does struggle to use these custom maps. It's one of the few downsides, but I find that the aesthetic and fun of using the custom map is kind of overarches the fact that the AI can't use them terribly well. So I've got my Chaos Warriors with great weapons coming into support, and then the guns up here on the walls have begun to rout as well. So I'm going to transfer my units down off the walls and start to clear out this blob. If I show you here, we should actually start to capture the gatehouse soon because of the overwhelming force of units that we'll have in the vicinity. You see my warriors coming down from the walls now, and then Appius is going to deliver yet another gift to the poor saps of Middenheim. I'll just let you all enjoy here some cinematic goodness. Oh man, I love the sounds on the Pit of Shades. It's definitely got the best sound design out of any spell. Bright Wizard and the Empire Captain, no match. Beaten back. You can see the forces in retreat. The Reavers of the Night Faith has easily stood alone against about 4 different units of Middenheim, racked up 86 kills, and it still has 2/3 of its health because they're absolute bosses. And do these look like guys that care about being outnumbered 3 or 4 to 1? No. Looks like that's the kind of world they thrive in fact. The giant gun of Middenheim here, that is an impressive artillery piece. An impressive artillery piece. You got the sweet statues and stuff here too. Show you all some of that action. And then the only thing that's left over here is these mortars and these great swords that are advancing far too late to save those that they should have been supporting. But of course, I mean, can you really support this fight? And look what they walk around the corner to. You guys need to caption this moment in the comments, like when they're running around the corner to attack, and then they see this coming their way. I mean, what do you even say to that? What do you even say to this? I mean, at least they'll die quick. I mean, when you're there 1 second and turned into a puddle of goo the next second, at least you didn't feel much. These poor saps. Oh man. I almost feel sorry for him, but I just don't. Anyway, that's gonna be the battle. the remainder of the troops of Middenheim will flee for what's left of their pathetic lives, and their settlement will be razed to the ground for the favor of the Chaos Gods. Ooh, that's some juicy loot we made off of this unprotected garrison because their forces decided to flee. And once again, the favor of the gods will be quite high. Quite high. You see we're amassing a massive, massive treasury of favor so that we can field multiple armies and wreak absolute destruction upon our enemies. That is the objective here, to really make it feel like the end times for our enemies. Alright, so for Archaon, I want to focus some on his magic tree at this point. We haven't done anything with it yet, and it definitely needs to be addressed. I'm going to leave Kolek's army in the state that it's in, just supporting Archaon until he has enough population surplus to support the building for the Dragon Ogres, which is going to be this first one here, the Dragon Ogre Gathering. That's going to require a tier 4 encampment, which we will be able to get after enough growth. Of course, the Sornling, or yeah, Bear Sonling, any character. Holy crap, I say that wrong every time. Just camping out up there.
Your conquests strike fear into the hearts of your enemies, mighty lord.
We've completed a
The
chapter
wisest
objective,
amongst them
and we're
will
gonna
know.
shush old Crow Shoulder over there. We've gained another 4,000 favor and 3,000 from bonus objectives. And now chapter 6, the champion, Razor Sack, 14 settlements. And we're gonna start it off from there. The Empire's got a lot of settlements. Look at this.
Ignore that.
He went around us and went and resettled Thousand Moon.
Not possible.
For the love of his own skin.
Dominance.
Absolutely pathetic. Alright. Well, we're going to show him just how pathetic he is.
Go now.
If they don't wish to fight the first time,
Bring the
then they'll fight a second time.
peace.
And they'll be even weaker and even easier to prey upon.
Ravage them. Gods of chaos.
Middenland continues to flee for its life in what is truly one of the most pathetic showings I've seen by an AI. Oh well, I'll burn their city to the ground a second time and take the growth for Kolek. We've picked up this Chalice of Chaos in the regenerating flesh. Ooh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Kolek is already gonna have some ability to heal. If I saw that right, an enchanted item. Yeah, we're gonna give it to Kolek. He earned it. Give him an additional ward save there. So Kolek is gonna be getting insanely strong already. And he's not even very far along the path yet to his ultimate strength. We're gonna go with Dominating Presence. We'll get a buff to all of his Dragon Ogres. He's going to have picked up a lot of extra growth after having raised that settlement. So you can see that even without being encamped, we're all the way up at 28 growth. And then Appius, the Chaos Roman. We're going to continue to fill out his magic tree. And then with Sextus, we've gotten him to where he's ready to keep agents off our back if we need to. So now I really want to focus on his combat abilities so that he will be Archaon's right hand, able to support in any fight and cause obscene damage to his enemies. I'm going to chase down Alexis here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put some pressure in that direction. Finally, the dogs of Ulrich are caught by our vassal Felman Ingerson, who attacked their settlement while I was within reinforcement range, so the Knights of Chaos will finally have their way with the coward Alexis Leitdorf. This battle will be a bit different because we're going to start as reinforcements to our single ally, and we're going to go pay him homage. And I want you guys to help me write the stories and tales that will be sung of this brave marauder chieftain. Look at him. He knows that he fights for the Everchosen, and he fears nothing. Headlong into the pitiful forces of Middenheim, he cares nothing for his own life, but only to bring glory to the gods of chaos. No support, no help, certain death to ensue. I had sent Archaon his way because I had hoped to help keep him alive because of this bravery, which is admirable. The Everchosen takes notice, I guess, of those who serve him, but Archaon was hopelessly far away, and despite the bravery of this marauder chieftain, he is not in a good place in life right now. He should have waited for those reinforcements. See the handguns trying to stop Sextus and Archaon, and as soon as they arrive, the chieftain gets routed. So I go ahead and pull off the attack so that I can form my troops, and the chieftain goes down. But talk about a true warrior of chaos right there, folks. A true warrior of chaos. And just look at the Knights of Archaon. Let's take a look at these stats here for a minute, just for fun. Just for fun. Let's look at this one. This is a 7 chevron troll hammer. This is our shock cavalry. Get the stats on it there. Look at that. 111 charge bonus, 61 melee attack, 43 defense, 53 weapon strength, with a ward save. I'm lining up Archaon over here with his Swords of Chaos, which will be an escort unit for him and for Sextus from pretty much now on. As they lead the knights, they'll have the Swords of Chaos to use their Guardian ability to add that physical resistance buff. And then right behind them will be the Troll Hammers and the Knights with Lances. And then, as always, our other flank will be made up of our Knights with Sword and Shield, and then our main line here of our Chaos Chosen, Reavers of the Night Faith, Sons of the Last Plague, all ready to do battle with an army of Middenheim that no doubt reeks of their own urine and feces, and the stench of death already upon them. I can only imagine that moment in Return of the King when they're fighting, right? In the city. I can't remember the name of it right offhand, but they're fighting to retake the city, and the orc is talking about being able to smell the stench of. Oh no, it's when they're fighting at the for Gondor, at the White Tower or whatever it's called. I don't know why the name of the city escapes me at the moment, but yeah, and he says the fear the city reeks of it. That's Middenheim right now. That's Middenheim. And I'm going to entirely surround them. So I'm going to approach them from the front with all my Chaos Warriors. And I'm moving to make a surrounding move with all of Archaon's Knights. And we are going to hit these guys hard from every angle. And go for a clean, quick destruction. Not that they deserve such for being so pitifully cowardice. Look at these little Sons of the Last Plague. This unit just looks so dang awesome. It's almost like a bit of Skaven color going on there. So there comes the infantry closing ranks, and then the cavalry just plowing through the enemies here. And Archaon himself driving his sword through the soldiers of Middenheim. Oh man, this game is beautiful. I'm just gonna let you all enjoy it. Middenheim, folks. That's the best they can do. Alexis, the coward of Middenland, the crybaby of Ulrich, is now dead, and Felman Ingerson will go down in the annals of chaos as a hero, willing to sacrifice his own life. It even gave him 538 kills, which doesn't really seem possible since he routed, but I guess that he really wanted to please Khorne. In any case, we have gained the favor of having finally defeated this coward, thanks to our vassalized ally. Well, assaulting a bunch of dragon ogres and shaggoths, I can't imagine why this ended in critical failure. Hans Aldrich will certainly go down in the annals of the old world history as the dumbest man who ever lived, attempting to assault a bunch of sleeping dragon ogres. Wow. Takes a genius for every moment. Well, Richter here has resettled Middenheim, an extremely foolish move, and Boris decides to hide in the forest as far away from the action as he can. Folks, I can't make this up. Middenheim is crapping its pants before your eyes. Is this not the end times? Is this not what we aimed for here? I love it. Absolutely love it. The fear. They're ripe with the stench of fear. And we're going to take advantage of it. It's going to be great. Infernal March has been finished. We now have additional range and a higher casualty replenishment rate. It also means that we can take on the next tech in our tech tree, and why not go for Demonic Pact at this point? We certainly have the funds for it, which gives us additional growth and replenishment, meaning that our troops will be even more on the march than they already are. Actually, yes, we're going to standard stance there. Standard stance. Kolek is the siege attacker, and he needs the points right now. So we're going to continue the siege with Kolek, move Archaon into reinforcement range, and level Middenheim once again. Can't believe it actually takes siege equipment at this point, but we shall auto-resolve it. The auto-resolve was pretty gracious to the defenders, as they likely would have caused 0 damage, maybe their towers. Raise it, take the growth, because the favor isn't enough to be worth it. And let's begin to build up monstrous strengths here, which in the end will give an extra 12% weapon damage and 8 melee attack for all of Kolek's army. As for Archaon, I'm going to place him into an encamped stance, and we're going to, let's see, the Burning Head would be a good place to start here. What I really want to get to is Piercing Bolts of Burning and Flamestorm. Those are even better with melee blobs, but Burning Head's certainly not a bad place to start with, you know, cheap, relatively unarmored infantry. We're going to make a move here towards Skullex, the great dragon of chaos. So I'm going to build this building tree next, Arcane Vortex, and then after that we'll build up and get the dragon recruited. I think for now we'll place that dragon in Kolek's army, but you all help me come up with the most appropriate place for him long term. Kolek has been issued a quest towards the Crown of Domination, and we definitely want to get a hold of that crown. It says, the gateways that divide worlds swell with power, and the dark shadow of chaos spills outward, engulfing all in its path. Before this irresistible tide, the minions of the dark powers gather, and Archaon draws them to his cause. Countless tribes of northern barbarians, roving bands of chaos warriors, and all manner of mutant beast flock to his banner, attracted by the unmistakable lure of raw power. The world trembles before the horde, as a city after city is set to torch, the souls of the vanquished on the pyre and devoured by demons. We have to raise and sack 3 settlements. That shouldn't be too terribly difficult. Demonic Pact has been made, and we have gone to a max level of growth and replenishment. So we will be growing our hordes very, very quickly. Let's look at which of these upgrades is the most important to us. Looks like this Herald of Doom has a nice range that'll buff up our Dragon Ogres and Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. And then this one buffs the Knights of Chaos further, so both of these will be quite handy. They take 25 turns apiece, which is a considerable time.
No.
Boris is moving around us. He has no desire to fight. If he's too cowardly to fight, then I'll push towards their wannabe fake emperor in Altdorf. And I think that the fall of Middenheim is quite clear in this episode. We may not have sacked every settlement they have, but clearly they are not in any shape to defend themselves. I'll let Boris play around with my Norscan vassals for a brief time while I push on to Weissman and clear the way to Altdorf, which we will see in the next episode. Now remember, Altdorf is a custom map mod. Ooh, the vampires have some power. That could make for some interesting battles later on. But for now, we focus on Altdorf and Karl Franz. I'll see you on the next episode. Again, it's very important in this series. Leave your comments. Tell me what you want to see next. If you liked it, hit that like button. Help me out. If you didn't, then by all means, hit me with that constructive criticism. Tell me what I need to do better. I'm excited to keep this rolling. I'm having a ton of fun with it. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.